All right, and we are not live, but we are back. It is time to discuss The Outer Worlds 2. Shout out to Obsidian and Xbox for providing us with a code for access. We have been playing this game. We've got a lot to say. Got the co-host with the co-most in the building, Lord Attic. How we doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty chaotic week, man. I beat Ninja Gaiden 4 and the Outer Worlds 2 in like 7 days. Like I don't even know how I did that. Like that's how you know I like both of those games because I was able to beat them. Because a lot of the
Yes.
times, like look, I'll put especially big RPGs, I'll put a bunch of time. If it's done, it's done. But I don't really do traditional reviews anymore. I do like
Mhm.
glorified impressions these days,
Mm.
where it's like, look, man, I put 50 hours in a game, because to me, that is what signifies you could respect my opinion because I put so many hours and I have a lot of experience in these type of games. But so how we're gonna do the Outer Worlds 2 is I kind of want to go off of like the vibes of me and you. Yeah, I feel like we have a lot of experience in these type of games. We both liked Avowed. You definitely liked Avowed more than I did, but it's still a good game. We still enjoyed it. Liked the Outer Worlds, and I think I liked the Outer Worlds more than you did. And what's funny is when the Outer Worlds 2 got announced, I like lost my mind, like
Yes, I remember.
because I love this franchise. I love the way it's always been built, and shout out to Microsoft, Xbox, and Obsidian. They provided me and Cog with a code, and we were able to like really break down this game, get a good amount of hours into it. I did beat the game. Cog I think you beat the whole first region, which
Mhm.
is a lot of gameplay, man. These
Yeah.
regions take a minute. See, the funny thing is, I did a lot in that first region because I remember
Mhm.
we were talking about a certain power plant, and I knew
Yes.
exactly what you was saying just
Yes.
off the little mention on it. And I just want
Hmm.
to go overall. The thing is too is I want the community to really be caught off guard with some of the stuff. So obviously we'll vaguely talk about story, but mainly I want to talk about the dialogue in terms of how the story's handled with the types of dialogue you can do. I want to talk about the combat. I want to talk about companions, stuff like that. Tell
Yeah.
tell the realm how much
Hmm.
time you got into it and you experienced so far. And another thing I want your overall impressions for the Outer Worlds franchise in general too. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good way to
Yeah.
start.
No doubt, no doubt. So, yeah, for Outer Worlds 2, about 15 to 20 hours again, all the first region. And I really realized how much density was in the region with the amount of the quests and things that you could do. As far as the Outer Worlds franchise itself, I loved part one. And one thing I liked about it is it had a very unique tone. You had your corporate stuff going on, your Space's Choice, and all these different franchises, which is now upgraded to Auntie's Choice. They've been acquired. It's been a corporate acquisition, which I thought was hilarious. And what Outer Worlds the tone always sets is
I don't
like,
like that. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't like the
I love
Auntie's
it.
Choice, Spacer's
I
Choice.
love it.
I don't
I love
mind
it.
it, and I
I
haven't
love it.
really broken down those
Hmm.
quest lines because I did beat the game. I
Hmm.
just want a scenario where you can stop the merger, like, cause like, and
It's the
what's
whole point of the
funny, but
game.
but what's funny is you look at like the way they go at that whole thing. I'm
Hmm.
looking at that as them like roasting America,
Yes,
like.
that's what I'm saying. The game is literally like a parody on real life. It's like if you
And you
look at
you haven't even
yeah,
been to their headquarters yet, have you? It is
exactly.
it is wild. The amount of like that whole faction is like we putting advertisements in front of your
Face
face.
everywhere. And it's just all, the groups that I've encountered so far, between them and, you got the Protectorate and you got all these groups. And the Protectorate is funny to me because it's kind of like it's a play on like religion. Right? It's
It,
like how fanatical you can get it. You must believe in the great plan, the sovereign, or sovereign gonna love this game. Because his name is mentioned all over the goddamn place. And then
yeah, their
obviously
leader is called the Sovereign.
yeah, and then obviously the great plan and all that stuff. So all these things are kind kind of like the game leans into it stuff. But as far as your, overall question, as far as like the impressions and stuff like that, as a person who loved Outer Worlds 1 and loved the tone, loved the characters, shout out to Pavardi, shout out to Vicar Max, you know what I'm saying? And I came in just a little worried, like, can they live up to the companions that the first one had? And then number two, I just got to be real in reference to, I am the big Avowed fan here, but I do recognize that a lot of people didn't like Avowed as much as I liked Avowed. So for me, I think the big choice for me was going to be choice and consequence. Like I was coming in like, how are they going to handle that? Because I think one of the fair criticisms of as much as I loved it, and I'm gonna be real with you, I love the biomes in Avowed better. I like the melee combat in Avowed better. But I will say
Melee combat's definitely better in Avowed. Just because of that dodge button. That's all they need. And
then the charge up. Remember the charge ups, and you do the
well,
move.
they do have a charge up system.
They do got them, but
see, they put it more in the perks. Like they put it more than perks. Avowed was very like open ended and casual when it comes to combat, which made it a lot funner in general because it wasn't really based in RPG sense. So I do feel like going into that, I don't even. I guess it might not have been possible, but it's like you should have put a dodge button. Like as much as people really like that dodge feature in that game, I do feel like they should have tried to sneak that in this game. But I get it.
I get it. So basically what I was going to with my final thoughts on the overall impressions was, like I said, a fan of the first, love what they did. I was just worried about characters, but more importantly, I was worried about choice, impactful choice in consequence. Not that the Avowed didn't have choices, but impactful. And what I noticed off the back with this game is everything matters. Not only just choice matters, what skill you put, what perks you put. You could be in a random part of the forest. You encounter something, and it was like, and perks that, when I knew this game, perks that normally don't really have impact in other games, like luck and this, that, like you would see, your engineering, your science, your luck, anything that you pick.
Everywhere. Almost every conversation has something like that. And I'm not even joking. Yep. Like sometimes I'll be having a conversation and it'll be like, provide the evidence or something like that, like show info. And I'm like, what I like is, in some ways they could have done better with exploration. I feel like loot on the people that you take down. They should have what they actually had on them. We did have that interview. Shout out to the interview. Guys, go check that out. We interviewed. Who did we interview? Like their actual
Brandon
name?
Brandon Adler, and Matt Singh, game directing design. Guys are amazing.
About 30 minutes. We will connect this one to that one, actually. We watched this whole one. So when I asked him, he was just like, look, we did that for gameplay. You wanted more variety of enemies, and we felt like the sacrifice was worth it. So I'm always, once you explain something to me and I understand, I'm gonna lay off you. I understood that concept, but what I like that they kind of misstepped a little bit on that is the exploration. Even if you didn't read them, because I'm gonna be real with you, I don't read that stuff. Like I click it, I see as much text, I'm like, nah, we good. Because most of the time I click it just to see if you got the ding thing that like updates on the on your task, your quest line. I don't care what it says. Now, if I get stuck too long, then I'll go back and start reading stuff. I'm looking, I missed something happened. But there's sometimes you'll be having these conversations, and it would just show. It's like, yeah, you read this. You didn't add it, you didn't read it, but your character read it, and now you have to prevent it as evidence. And I love that because that is. Even though that the loot thing could have been a little bit better, they have done very good with exploration in general in this game. Sometimes I would be going downstairs randomly, finding random shelves that move, and then all this information that's on it. They did a really good job with the dialogue in this game. And then not to mention, you said when it comes to skills and traits, all of that, great. I do feel like they needed to have more bad traits because there was only 3. Sickly.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about the original? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh no, if you're talking about the
talking about flaws.
Flaws is crazy.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, we could talk about flaws in a second. My only thing that had like a lot of good traits. Now, what's funny is some of your bad traits could be dialogue conversations, like sickly, where you was like, "Yo, I'm sick. I don't know if you want me to go over there," and they would literally tell me, "No, okay." we're not keeping you here. Then we're gonna like I would use me being sick to get
Yes.
past security because they didn't want me there.
And just for clarity, so people, the listeners know, is that when we say the bad trait, because the way the game starts, like you said, you get a chance to pick your skills. You know what I'm saying? You pick your background. You got like backgrounds you get to pick. Then you get certain perks and traits. Certain traits that you get to pick, right? So you get usually you get one, but they allow you to pick two. But they say if you pick two traits, then you have to have a negative trait to balance that. So in my case, I pick heroic because I'm a guy who likes using my companions for combat, using their recharge, their abilities, have them recharge faster. So I'm letting them do the work. Go kill them. I'm playing it like Mass Effect. You go that, you do your ability, and then I get faster charge times. I'm sorry, get okay.
I do wish with that companion thing, I do wish there was a button to like slow time down a little bit better because obviously you have the
Slow time ability.
the
Yeah.
slow time. I can't remember what that ability
Yeah,
is
it's like
called.
time dilation.
Time
something,
dilation.
something.
Now
Yeah.
they have gadgets with that, so it would be annoying that I wish that was one button. Like, or doesn't matter because it's a gadget now. It's not technically an ability. It's a part of your arsenal that you have with multiple other gadgets. So sometimes when I'm wanting to use it, I have something else equipped instead.
Yeah, and you
I'm
gotta
like,
switch
I don't
back to it.
feel like
Yeah,
switching.
I got you, yeah.
Because sometimes I felt like trying to trigger the companion abilities was a little annoying. Because some of them you have to physically look at them and you have to highlight them. So sometimes when they would be moving fast enough, I can't. I'm like, slow down. Let me see you so I can have this person hit you. Like,
what I would do is ADS. I would ADS. And
well, no, that wouldn't matter. So once you get certain part in this game, you have ads that don't like. They're very very fast. They're hard to like to slither down. So kind of like. You know Dragon Age Velgard where they had like a button you push and it slowed time down and it physically let you move around, go do this. I think I would like it they would have done that. I think they had that in Avowed, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
So just something where I can use my companions in battle a little bit more to my advantage and not them just running around doing what they want.
You can direct them though.
No, but
just for the clarity, you can direct them.
My point is like sometimes that ability is hard to use in the means of battle.
Well, because what it is, to your point, is every button seems to be used in combat, right? You got the left bumper, for the special abilities, and I had one where it's like obviously you get the time dilation, but then I had one where you get the acid and you could burn the bodies, which I love is dope because like this way
really good for stealth, really good for stealth.
Yes, you don't want to get detected because this game they will go on patrols and it'll say body found and it'll break your stealth and they will come searching for you and then they become super aggressive. Then I believe right bumper was like your grenades or your distraction stuff I had in that thing. And then obviously when you press the directional pad left or right would correspond to each companion on your side, and directional pad down would be your inhaler and then that ability there. But I just want, as far as my finished up with just with the impressions, was just that, I was so impressed with the hardcore RPG sensibilities based on the build and the character that I created. And there was something in the game for every skill, which is rare. Most games, they want you to play a specific way. You know what I mean? Or you just do a high speech build and you can kind of brute force your way past things. This game, not only did every other skill come and evolve in any and every aspect of the game, whether it be a random door, a random NPC, a quest, something you find, it would come into a play. But then what they would do is they would do something what I thought was really cool. Sometimes even if you had the skill, it still wasn't enough. So you had to be level 2, level 3, plus another thing, or give you an option. Or if you didn't have that, or a document or another skill. And I love games like that because it really thinks of everything. And then we'll talk about the flaws and all the other stuff. But
yeah, let's go into the flaws because we got about 15, 20 minutes. Flaws are amazing. I'm at the point, I don't care what franchise it is, Obsidian put flaws in it. Put this whole system in it because I don't know if it's like off a system where if you do it, it triggers or if it's random. Because I feel like it's if you do it, it triggers because I didn't feel random. Sometimes I had a flaw where it was because it's not really a flaw. It's a perk that has a flaw.
Yes.
Because what's crazy is the perk I had because I hacked. That's what I did. I was a hacker. So what the perk would do is it would say, yo, you get double the XP for hacking.
Mm.
But you got to use 2 of the currency to hack stuff, the things.
Oh, the shunts and
the
all
shunts.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it does that adds up like real
yeah.
fast. But there's a perk that you could do to, because did you ever see the terminals for bounties and stuff?
Yes.
So gonna tell you guys, this might be a little bright
Pro
spoiler,
tip.
but it's more of a tip than anything. There is a perk that's level 2 on hacker, where you can hack those and steal money from them.
Yes.
And by the end of the game, and my hacking was almost maxed, I was getting like 6-7 grand a pop.
Ooh.
Like because what it does is there's like multiple accounts on everyone. I think there's 2 or 3, and for the level 14 one, you get like 2,500, 3,000, and the level 11 one, you get like 800, and you could do it multiple times. And because I had that perk that doubled my XP, I'm leveling up just off of those, just about. And the only condition I had was I couldn't. I had to wait for 7,800 experience to get them. And then what's funny is like I had another one that I denied. I denied most of them. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, so, some of them are really tough to commit
some of them
to.
you look at. There is one that I was talking to someone else that was playing it. It was like it was you pretty much saying that you're not a, you have to get everything to 2 before you can get anything above 2. But
I got that one.
But
yeah,
you get 3 points every level instead of 2, because I get 2.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here like, at first I'm like, damn, that sucks. But I'm thinking, how long would it take you to get everything to 2? And then you have an extra skill point to invest every turn. So I actually think that's a very fair perk, because there's a lot of skills, but not that many. Not as many that would make that not worth getting. Because it's not hard getting stuff to 2. Now, I don't know if that was I didn't accept it because I saw it and I didn't get it. But a lot of especially what I like is just the playability. You can play this game how you want to play it. Companions lead stuff, so there's like a skill tree with the companions. Every 5 levels you get to do something. And guys, companions are it. We can talk about the companions now.
Hold on, let me get my flaw off. Let me get my flaw off real quick before we get. Is that the one that I knew the game is amazing was that this game truly analyzed how you play. Every aspect. And the minute you start forming a pattern in things, so what it was noticing, what I was doing was every time I level, I'm like, all right, damn, this one's low though. I done got no points in medical. Let me at least put something there, or that kind of energy, right? So then after about 5 levels of this, because remember, you pick 2 skills that you're supposed to be specialized in, and those are the ones that when you put a point in, they give you an extra point because those are the ones you told the game from the beginning you're a specialist. Mine was kind of like heroic and observant or something. So my companions a thing, and then also I'll be lucky and I'll be able to find things, stuff like that. So those are my 2 main skills. So what I was doing, I was making other things higher because I was encountering different things in the game, but it was like, yo, you don't got this and you don't got that, so you can't access this. So I'm like, all right, let me try to be a little well-rounded. So after the 5th level, the game was like, they called my floor easily distracted. So it says every time I level, I said I could only add a skill point to my lowest skill.
So that's the one I was just saying.
So it is the same one. Yeah. That's that one. I was like, yo, this game is wild. So you can't over mid-max like a specific joint to like a high level and neglect everything else. You have to put it in something lower and be almost like this well-rounded character, but you get an extra skill point. And I thought that, so we well-rounded, we both talk about the same thing. Did you get the one with the knees, with the cranky knees?
No,
if
no,
you
I
sneak
didn't
a lot,
get that one.
I'm a sneak around guy.
I did get one that was pretty much essentially saying, because I'm gonna be real with you, like basic conversations, I will read before it actually, like, because I read fast because I watch anime. So it's not that I was skipping; I was just reading it before the dialogue read it itself. So the game was like sensing that like I wasn't reading it. So they gave me one with like you're not reading, you're not listening to the dialogue. So they were offering me like some crazy perk, but it's like, but we pick what you pick.
Oh, so you take your player agency
They
away, like
they
they make the
take they
choice.
pick the dialogue.
Hey
And I
yo,
was like, no, I don't trust you guys. And then there was I got that Clipto one that was in the trailer where it
yes.
says that you'll get more point. You'll be able to sell for more,
Mhm.
but you can't. Sometimes you just randomly steal stuff. If you just look at it, it just puts it in your pocket. I was like, yeah, I don't trust that.
Like
Nah,
some klepto
yeah,
joint.
I don't trust that. And then there was one that was something that was like, if
Mhm.
you'll have higher store prices,
Mhm.
but but in return for that, you'll find ammo in every dead body that you have.
Interesting.
So what I find interesting is you're getting these perks for whatever things you do. So
Yes.
so that means I didn't play with stealth. I didn't play with anything. I
Mhm.
played with like I hacked stuff and shot stuff. That's it.
Mhm.
So I
Comes
was
in.
getting those on that. But you're telling me if you do other skills, you're getting those perks revolved around those skills too. So it
Yeah.
literally the game sees how you play,
Playing.
and what I like is like they're like, oh, you like this RPG? How much? Are you
Mm.
okay with this if we
Yes.
do this? Like,
Yes, it's like if you like it, basically the game is saying, okay, we're noticing it's smart enough to notice every habit you have, and we're noticing it. But if you love it, we'll let you lean into it, but with a slight penalty where every time you don't do it, kind of thing. And I was just like, ooh,
oh,
this is really
I
cool.
had a really good one where
Hmm.
it doubled my magazine size.
Hmm.
But if I got to zero and I had to reload, my damage output was reduced by 40% for 8 seconds. So essentially, if I'm
Mm.
shooting something, I have to reload before I get to the bottom of the magazine. Because then what would end up happening is I would get this massive, nerf, massive nerf. So that was interesting. Let's talk about the companions.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Uh, Phenomenal. I love them. Like I really
Woo!
do. I think the base chick that you get in the first area, she's a
Hmm.
little bit generic.
Hmm.
But I think I started coming around on her. But
Hmm.
talk about some of them. I don't want. Let's not say names or say
Let's not
like
say
the
that. Yeah, yeah.
factions. There's
Right, right,
this
right.
one individual, big dude. I know you know what I'm
Yep.
talking about.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah,
loved
later.
him in the conversation. What
Yeah.
I like is the there's serious consequences, guys. If these companions, if you do stuff in these companions and they don't like it, they're leaving. Like they
Yes.
don't play. Like they are
Yes.
leaving. There was multiple scenarios in the game where something happened and I had to like generally be like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna like that. Like when you recruit them, they will tell you too. Yo, if I don't like that, we out. I'm out. Like
Mm.
if you come across my peoples and do anything I don't like, I'm
Hmm.
out. And I really enjoy. And what I like too is when they level up their stuff through their side quests, through their
Companion
companion
quest.
quests. And what
Hmm.
I first off, the way they separate every quest, they even have a companion quest thing
Quest.
where it
Yes, with the
shows you
indicator.
what the companions are. Really
Yeah.
like that, like ease of use. But
Hmm.
but it's just like when you level them up from doing those companion quests, they can literally there's an individual that makes that some of the stuff in their tree revolves around stealth. So
Mm.
literally, and it's like double the stealth that you do. So you
Mm.
are talking about if you already have a stealth character and you double the stealth on top of that stealth character, you're talking one shot kills everything. But I
Hmm.
didn't test it, but that's how I would see it. And that's what I really enjoy. It's just like not only is there dialogue in this game that make you play, and like I said, the skills and dialogue in this game were like you guys think we're exaggerating. It's literally every dialogue conversation. There is like six or seven things. And almost every time there's like three at the bottom that's locked because I didn't
Right.
build that certain character.
Yes, or you like I said, you don't have a piece of information, but yeah, the companions are amazing because the player agency, and again, not to compare consistently to Avowed, but we have to mention because it's Obsidian's earlier game, is that I felt like when I played Avowed, yeah, I could piss at a companion off, but I'd say something else and they'd be like, okay, forget it, let's do okay. They just ignore and just continue to do what I wanted to do. Like I never really felt the threat,
I
like
actually think that they said in an interview you couldn't lose them like that.
right.
No,
So
they will leave you in this.
they will leave. And the thing about what really of Outer Worlds one flirted with this, but now they do it better in two, which is like you could come across conversation that you know will be very important to a companion. right? And the game will allow you to let the companion take
It would
over
say
the
it would say
dialogue.
let them continue.
Let them talk. And I let someone who had beef with someone else, and it was like, yo, you just left me like that? How you did me? And I was like, yo, so I'm talking about, I'm like, yo, I got going at you. Like, yo, I'm gonna let you speak for yourself? Or I had the ability to defend my companion and speak for him. But I said, you know what? That's his beef. He did something dirty to this NPC. Let him handle. I want to hear him explain this. And they just went on and on and on and on. And then the cool part, which is dope, is that even when you're in the world, they'll have the little dialogue box sometimes when they're ready to talk and say something additional to you. And then let's talk about also with the companions with, their certain abilities and how they got their own skill trees. And like, for example, there's one, the robot-ish one, had like things to do to heal and you could level them up. One had like, okay, you got to work because that person's an engineer. I literally have a portable workbench everywhere I go because he has that ability as opposed to finding one. So not only do they have their own individual personalities, their own interactions, their own factions, their own belief systems, their own dialogue trees, then you got the skill set and then you could build into with them. And I just thought they really leveled up on companions. As a person who loved Outer Worlds 1's companions, I feel like the systems in Outer Worlds 2 companions are better. And I do feel now I think they are a little deeper. Even though I still feel Pavarti and Vicar Max are the GOATs of every Outer World game, Final City characters. I have to admit, though, the way they did characters in companions in Outer Worlds 2 is kind of better overall.
They did a good job with it. And what I really appreciate is the consequences of companions. I remember back in Dragon Age where you'll have the wrong conversation and not only do people leave, but sometimes they turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that because there was this one incident, and I said it yesterday in the interview, where it was the decision was so wild, I had to do it just for the plot, just to see if it was. I was playing the game, and when it happened, I put my controller down, and I went like, "There's no way, there's no way they're gonna let me do that." I just started the game. This person's been in my party for 30 minutes.
What's up?
And I said, did it, and it did it. And not only did that person leave my party because I'm a scumbag, the other person that was with me said, I ain't with that. They left too.
Well, you lost two people?
Yes.
Yo, that's the thing. That again, that was the difference with I consider the moments in Avowed or whatever other, and I just love like Obsidian went back to the essence of true impactful choices on everything. But some things are a slow build up. Some of things, they'll see because you'll get the hey, they remember that. Hey, you mentioned that. Like you'll see them, the game register or their tone, and they'll give you an indicator of things that are of importance. And it happens more than not, even with the faction stuff. That's some of that stuff is a slow build and stuff like that. I really appreciate that because it makes the game feel so real.
So let's talk about factions, and we're probably gonna head it out with the factions.
Yeah, and I got to get my graphics off at the too as well.
Yeah. So factions, they did their thing, man. Factions felt very Fallout New Vegas like. Everyone's got a meter. I think I came across 3 factions. I don't know if there's any more than those 3. But
shout out to the what they call the rosebuds. I like them.
The order.
No, the rose people. The people that little shot. You ain't get them. You ain't go to the to the greenhouse with the girl and they was like, yo, we think she doing drugs over there. She did. Yeah, they said you over there.
Is that a faction?
Yes, there's a whole faction where
I might have killed them. That's why I didn't see them because there was decisions like that.
Early, yeah, you can betray her.
What's
early.
Funny is like we're not gonna spoil it, but you know how I knew this game was crazy with those decisions in the factions is the fact that like the first major decision after the first planet, I was like, yo, they ain't nothing. I'm making someone mad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so,
but that's the beauty of the game because we like in the interview we were talking about this is the epitome of why I like games like Mass Effect where BioWare is peak BioWare. This is what Obsidian is flirting with, where there's every decision. There is a random path and random chance that only a small percentage of players are going to see. But if you pick it, you go, wait, that could happen. So basically, this one NPC was like, yo, if you do this little shisty thing for me, so I was like, well, what do I get out of that? So it was shisty what she had me do, and I had to like steal and do some stuff, and I did it. And I came to check, like, all right.
Oh, you at the beginning there's two
Yeah,
people and you chose the other
yes.
person I didn't
Yeah.
pick.
And then
Yeah.
that other person was like, yo, I got a network. Like a Robin Hood fit things, you could do whatever we go. And if you see this little roll sign, you good money. You say the word, you say the code word, you get whatever you. I said I want to be down with them. It reminded me of the Thieves Guild from what you go. They're literally a Thieves Guild faction. Like in this, I was like, oh, this game.
Did
So the
they did
fact
they
that
have a
yeah,
faction line
yes,
thing?
and they
Okay,
got
see,
a
I
fact.
did notice that I had half of it and half of it wasn't there at the end of the game.
Yes. So that's the beauty of the game. So you pick. I'm just curious because I know we go. You picked the other thing, right?
Yes,
So
I
what?
went the
Yeah.
exact other way, and
Wow.
I went to the right side of the map, which you probably still went there.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But it seemed like the way you chose, my person was more direct on what they wanted, and the person that you chose was probably a little bit more like they had a little bit more skeletons in their closet than they usually handle.
Yeah, that's wild. So it just the funny, the humor, the funny scenarios. But again, go to your next. I know we go along, but go to your
Oh
next
yeah,
point.
fine.
Then we go here.
The well factions we're gonna end
Factions,
with
factions.
after this with graphics, but
Yeah.
factions. So you will get a time where they'll shoot you on sight. And there's certain people if you kill anyone in the game, anyone in the
Yes.
game. No
Yes.
one. It's not one of those scenarios where I shot someone and I took him out and I went straight to the red side of that faction. And then I showed you. Remember, I showed you.
Yeah.
Something popped up and said, "Now most of the time these factions, they have no issues if you shoot people, but if you kill certain people in that faction, it's on sight."
Oh, what's up, baby? It's gang. It's gang. That's what's up. And I love it because, again, it just shows you how much thought went into it. These are hard design lifts. Let's be clear. This is why games like Mass Effect and stuff don't exist anymore because it takes a lot of time to really think about every single possibility of choice. But this is what Obsidian has done. And I love that. And adding factions on top of it makes it even more.
And it's really hard for a team of
Yes,
hundreds of people to come together and agree on certain aspects to make a game like this.
absolutely.
I will say I did have a couple issues I want to bring up real quick before we get into
Likewise.
the graphics. One of the issues I had was for some reason you can't swim in the game, and I know like in the
Yes.
grand scheme of things it's not like a huge big deal, but I didn't like it because I've never liked not being able to swim.
Avowed you can swim.
Yeah, avowed you could swim. Also, the fall damage, it's crazy. Like I feel like
Really?
you fall from like a small little cliff, like you dead.
You
Like
told
I
me this
feel
thing-
like I
Yeah.
could jump farther than my in-game character could. Like
It's funny you said that because when you told me this in your play session and I played, and I fell off what I thought was high distance, and I didn't really have any fall damage. I was like, maybe I didn't fall high enough. I didn't encounter it one time.
like I looked down and it was like a one-story thing, and I jumped off of it and I died. And maybe there's stats that help with that. That I
okay.
didn't invest into, but I ain't gonna lie, man. Like,
Yeah, it feel
so
good.
sometimes it's not that it didn't feel good. Like I adjusted. Okay,
Yeah.
you get a mental note. Okay, don't think you could jump. Just jump because you can
Right.
jump. So it's not like it was a huge. It wasn't like a huge inconvenience. I would say the swimming thing wasn't even huge.
The swimming,
inconvenience.
I agree. I didn't like that. It was no
But
swimming
to
in
be
there.
honest with you, after you play the game for a little bit and you go to
Yeah,
multiple
you got over that.
biomes,
Yeah.
there's not really a whole lot of situations that would
Just
let
to
you
do
go
that.
into that. So it's like weird decisions that I was like scratching my head with, but wasn't really nothing in particular. I would actually say in terms of like RPG in general, like this is damn near a perfect RPG. Like there's
this is peak.
and there's a lot of issues. I do feel like they still need a little bit of work with their gunplay, just a little bit of work on
Really?
how they handle some of the aspects.
Okay.
And this is coming from someone that is in love with VATS from Fallout.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's hard for me to like play a game like this without VATS.
Okay.
So when I have a gun, I always want, and I think that's the reason like their version of VATS in here.
Mm,
I in my mind, I wanted that to be really, I wanted that to be the only gadget, and they expanded that. You know what I'm
mm.
saying?
But then
Because
it'll be
I,
Fallout. There'll be the bite
but
and Fallout.
see, but the thing is like when you have a gun situation like that, I always like the ability to take that gun situation and turn it to an RPG with just the gun mechanics.
Mhm.
So that's why like the VATS work so well, because when you went into the VATS, you had percentages on everything because they
Right.
turned it into an RPG.
Mhm.
So that was probably my biggest thing, is because I did want them to like explore more into that. Maybe not
Mhm.
necessarily make it VATS, but make different versions of it that do the same
Mhm.
thing. That's pretty much about it, and that's nitpicking. I can't really
Right.
say that I came across anything where I'm like, yeah, this is unacceptable. Like
Right.
this is the the standard that RPGs
Mhm.
in general should have in terms, especially in terms of dialogue. Now, obviously, stuff that was in Avowed, I think they should implement into the next one. I think
Mhm.
there's stuff in Avowed that should be implemented, especially
Yeah.
the dialogue
That
lore stuff.
dialogue and the lore, the
That
history.
that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that should be implemented into every RPG they do from now on.
Mhm.
But graphics, man, like you.
Yeah.
Uh, I think the game looks good, but once again, I don't think it's like candy or anything like that. I do think
Mhm.
it's one of the weakest pillars of the game,
Mhm.
but doesn't mean it's like a bad pillar. It's just
Mhm.
it's a smaller pillar than the other ones.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you're excited about
yeah,
that.
no, that's what
Yeah.
I was just saying.
Yeah. No, for me, the graphics are. I love the engine. I love the way the engine, when you're moving in interiors and the way things look, I think is great. Exteriors, outer world, the biomes are okay. That's why I still feel Avowed is superior in as far as the biome. Again, I'm sorry, I keep comparing the Avowed. It's Obsidian made two games
Well,
this year. It's only right.
game
You
was
know what I'm saying?
just
But
a couple months
yeah,
ago, so it's
months ago.
hard
You
to
know what I'm
not
saying?
compare them.
Blame Obsidian for putting out so many goddamn good games in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So I got it's just the only reference point I can use because I feel like the biomes in Avowed are really beautiful. You know, especially when you go to the Emerald Stair and all these different places. But so I won't say it's better than that as far as biomes. But and I think the faces are a kind of double A energy sometimes for me. You know what I'm saying? They're not terrible, but it's just like okay, I agree with you. I would feel like graphically from a fidelity standpoint, this is like, oh my God,
They still got some work to do in that
yeah, this
area.
you could tell this is still a double A game. You know what I'm saying? As far as that's what you could tell. But then again, when you're interior and you're engine, you're in first person. And shout out to them with three modes, first person, and then two third person modes for people who don't
That
like first person.
did you
Yeah.
know that you need to switch your field of view to adjust that third person? Like if you
Yeah.
put your field of view all the way up to like 90 or 70, it
Mhm.
looks like Resident Evil.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do
Yeah,
that. That's
so
what's up. Yeah.
when you adjust that field of view and you
Hmm.
go into third person, you could really make that as good as you want it to be. If you're at
Gotcha.
like 110, literally I'm like this far away from it. Like it
Yeah.
almost looks like I'm over him.
Oh, that's what's up.
So if you play third person,
Hmm.
play around with that field of
You
view
can play around the field
and
of view.
really feel how you want to see, because the third person's good. It is. It's a
Yeah,
good third
it's
person.
really good, and that's where you coincide that with the strength of the game is that tons of accessibility options. You can play how you want to play, control how you want to control, then combine that with a good combat system, which I love. I felt the gunplay is so solid, it's so serviceable, and that's what I really enjoy. They really lead into my Destiny sensibilities with different. You know, you hit people with solar, the plasma, the shock. You could make them pop and do all types of reactions, and you get now into the build crafting, and it looks so good because the graphics and the gunplay. I felt really they leveled their game up. Again, melee is probably the only weakness. I did notice though some things are tied to skills. Remember how I was giving them smoke about this? They don't have the avowed creep behind button. They actually do, but in a different way. So what it is if you level up, I think it was like sneaking pickpocketing or whatever it was, those two or whatever it is. Then now when I get behind the energy, the X button comes up, and then I'll be able to get a strong sneak attack. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, so they do have a version. It's still not the the all the way version that I like, but there's some light version of it. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing there. But overall, I thought the graphics are solid, but not like wowing. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is the frame rate is smooth. You got your VRR, you got your 60 FPS. You know what I'm saying? You're moving it around the world pretty good, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
What I enjoy, because we're about to close out of this, is they actually have weapons that go into stuff. Like there's a melee weapon that is a shotgun too. So even though that it's a melee weapon, I was able to use it, and to me, it felt like it was going off my gun stat. So I like that because I'm a fan
Hell
of
yeah.
giving you the option of leveling out in like a range gameplay, but they don't take away melee from you.
Yes.
So maybe I would say there's more of that. You know, the
Yes.
weapons in general are pretty good.
The
You know,
weapons are
I don't want to
good.
go too much into it because I
Yeah.
want you guys to really experience the weapons for yourself.
Shout out to the mods too that you can lean
Oh
into
yeah,
play
there's a
styles
bunch of them.
and
There's a bunch of
perks
them.
and lean into your guns, lean into your armor, the workbench, the crafting. Like they've got depth here, man. Lots of RPG depth. It is a fun game to
Yeah,
play.
and
For sure.
we could break that stuff down, but here's the thing: like,
Yeah.
I built these to give you guys an overall
Yeah.
feeling if it's okay to come out and play. like,
Yes,
like you know, at the end of the day, I want you guys to experience a lot of this on your own. It's just our experiences, and the crazy part is I can very few games I double dip and I play again and I play another one. I'm definitely going to play this game again because I want to see a stealth perspective. I usually love speech builds on here.
Same.
I didn't have a speech build on this game.
Wow.
I want to see. I had 0 in speech. I only
Wow.
had,
That's unlike you.
engineering was the only other perk that I had things in. I had all my stuff in gun, medical, and hacking, and then I had like 5 in engineering. Everything else was 0.
Okay.
So, and I enjoyed every bit of it. But because that happened, I can see why you want to go back and see what someone go. But I regret you guys, man. Invest in the locking, pick locking,
yeah,
lock picking.
Yeah.
Got a crazy amount of locks that you can pick in this game.
Don't sleep on lucky. Don't sleep on observant. Don't brawny. Like every skill I've seen are very cool. There's one trait called innovative. I didn't even get
There's
that
a
yet.
couple of times where I wish I had brawny.
Yeah, I'm like brawny. I could have used this. An innovative. I could have.
Because if you have brawny, a lot of the situations that you would need engineering, you don't need to invest in.
like yo, I was just brute force this whole situation, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's dope. But yeah,
So
for real.
that is our situation with the Outer Worlds 2. To me, it gets my iron silver approval. I don't know about Cog, but it definitely gets my iron silver approval. It's okay to come out and play, man. It's okay to come out and play. You know, we don't tell you guys where to spend your money. And obviously we got the game for free. But I would have paid for this game. Definitely would have paid for this game. But that's not fair. I would have paid for it before it came out. Before I got it. Dude, what's your iron silver approval? Did they get it, man, or what's
Oh,
going
for
on?
sure. It's not even a question. Obsidian is all the way back. For those who thought they left, because I saw a lot of talk, and I'm just gonna let y'all know when it comes to these Western RPGs, this is not only that they do that. You know, it's a return to
Obsidian's one of the
form.
best people doing it.
Yeah, they're one of the best. And what it is if you're a person that misses that like Fallout New Vegas type energy. You miss true dialogue, true choice of character. First of all, this game is hilarious too. Let's be honest. This game has laugh out loud, funny, cool moments. You know, edge of your seat moments,
Especially
tension.
Some of the companions.
Some of the companions are fun. Like this is an entertaining game. They've got it, man. They've got it. Like I said, we got our little small nitpicks, but none of it is enough to be like, oh, this is a terrible game or anything like that. This is just, it is amazing what they've done here. So highly recommend. Go check out Outer Worlds 2. This is they did that. They did that. I am very impressed, and I can't wait. You know the game's good when you playing it and you're like, man, 5-6 hours just went past, and I really didn't feel like I did too much, and I'm just having so much fun. I just want to live in this world. I want to see all the things I can do, and it's definitely a multiple playthrough game. They're gonna be talking about this one for a lot,
Yeah,
man.
they
They
got
did
something here, man. They got something.
For
But
sure.
that is our group review, our discussions. We've got both of our iron silver approvals. Definitely support this game, guys. Support this game. Once again, shout out to Obsidian and Xbox for letting us get hands-on early access with the game to give you guys our opinion. I think it comes out technically the day after this goes out. It goes
Hmm.
to early access. And then I think you get like a $30 upgrade if you have Game Pass. You can play it early. So definitely go try that out. This is Lord Addict and Lord Cognito, and we out of here. Peace.
Peace.